and National Guard's role under Trump, a shift that raises eyebrows and questions. The National Guard, traditionally seen as a force ready to protect and assist communities in times of crisis, has recently found itself in the spotlight for reasons that many military experts find concerning. President Trump's increasing reliance on the Guard, especially in cities governed by Democrats, to tackle crime, manage protests, and support immigration and customs enforcement, ICE, operations has sparked a debate about whether this use aligns with the Guard's original purpose. In Washington, D.C., where National Guard troops have been stationed since August, their duties have extended beyond typical military tasks. Instead of focusing solely on security, these troops have been involved in activities like pruning trees, collecting trash, and beautifying neighborhoods. According to the U.S. Army, by October 1st, Guard members had cleared over 1,000 bags of trash, spread more than 1,000 cubic yards of mulch, pruned hundreds of trees, cleaned nearly 8 miles of roadways, painted fences, and even packaged thousands of pounds of food. While these efforts contribute to community upkeep, they mark a departure from the Guard's traditional emergency response roles. Beyond D.C., the Trump administration has pushed for Guard deployments in states like Oregon and Illinois to protect ICE facilities and personnel. In Missouri, a small contingent of Guard members has been assigned to assist ICE with administrative tasks such as data entry and case management. Meanwhile, in Memphis, the Guard's presence is described by local officials as serving as the eyes and ears for law enforcement, though their exact role remains somewhat unclear. At a recent meeting of top U.S. military leaders in Quantico, Virginia, President Trump publicly praised the Guard for their efforts in making the nation's capital safer, calling their mission critical and very important. But here's where it gets controversial. Many military experts argue that these assignments stray far from the Guard's core mission, which traditionally centers on aiding communities during natural disasters and other emergencies. They worry that this shift could undermine public trust and even impact recruitment. Retired Major General William Enyart, who led the Illinois National Guard from 2007 to 2012 and also served as a Democratic congressman, bluntly called this a misuse of a great instrument. The National Guard Bureau, however, declined to comment on these concerns. From Minutemen to modern-day responders, the Guard's historic roots and evolving role. The National Guard's origins date back to the 1600s, long before the United States was founded. Early colonial militias, known as Minutemen, earned their name because they were ready to respond at a moment's notice. This spirit of rapid, community-focused service remains a defining characteristic of the Guard today. Kevin Green, co-director of the Center for the Study of the National Guard at the University of Southern Mississippi, explains that Guard members choose to serve those who either cannot or will not protect themselves, driven by a strong sense of duty to their local communities and the nation. While the Guard has been deployed overseas for military operations and occasionally called upon to manage civil unrest, their most frequent and celebrated role has been responding to natural disasters and emergencies. For example, after the September 11 attacks, Guard troops were instrumental in searching for survivors and recovering the remains of fallen firefighters. In the wake of Hurricane Katrina in 2005, the Air National Guard evacuated nearly 2,000 residents and delivered essential supplies like food, water, and medical aid. More recently, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Guard members staffed emergency call centers, supported food banks, and even helped with the somber task of removing deceased patients from hospitals. In July, they rescued over 520 people during severe flooding in Central Texas. This versatility has earned the Guard the nickname Swiss Army knife of the military. However, Major General Enyart cautions that just because the Guard is capable of handling a wide range of tasks doesn't mean it should be stretched too thin or used for political purposes. Soldiers want meaningful missions, he says, missions that either defend the country or help communities recover from disasters. The human side, impact on Guard members and their families, since most Guard members serve part-time, balancing civilian jobs, education, and family life. Frequent or politically motivated deployments can cause significant disruption. Enyart highlights the breach of trust not only with the soldiers but also with their families, who bear the emotional and logistical burdens of these assignments. Retired Major General Randy Manner, former acting vice chief of the National Guard Bureau, shares concerns that such deployments could negatively affect recruitment, which has otherwise been strong. He warns that the Trump administration's approach might lead to more frequent and expansive use of the Guard in ways that could alienate the public. We must not allow this administration to drive a wedge between the American people and our military, Manner emphasizes. So, what do you think? Is the National Guard being stretched beyond its intended purpose, or is this just a natural evolution of its role in a complex world? Should the Guard be used more aggressively in law enforcement and immigration operations, or should it stick strictly to disaster relief and defense? This debate touches on the very relationship between the military and the communities it serves. Share your thoughts below. Do you agree with the experts' concerns, or do you see this as a necessary adaptation? The conversation is just getting started.